Hi guys, welcome to Little Wicket Railway. I'm Rob, and in this video we're looking at one of the early Hornby Thomas the Tank Engine train sets. This video is for Rex, who I hear is a big Thomas fan, so thanks for watching my videos so far and I hope you enjoy this one. So as a bit of background, Hornby won the rights to produce Thomas the Tank Engine models in 1985, and since then they have made loads of them. I think this is one of the earlier ones from around the mid-80s period. I got this one second-hand off eBay, and as you can see it's not in mint condition. The box is a bit battered, all the models are in there and they're in reasonable condition for their age. These sets seem to hold their value pretty well. Mint condition complete sets go for anywhere between £50 and £100. Hornby stopped producing Thomas models a few years ago, and as of 2019 Bachmann have the rights to produce these in the UK. And Bachmann's new Thomas set is due anytime soon, so I thought now might be a good time to review this one, and if I can get my hands on a new Bachmann one we can compare the two. Let's take a look at the box and then open it up. So here's the box. We've got this big window at the front showing off all the models, a large picture of Thomas on the right and the World of Thomas the Tank Engine branding at the top. This was before the sets were rebranded as Thomas and Friends. In the bottom left we know it's an electric train set, and that's important because before this there were lots of clockwork sets. And as an added bonus we can see this set came with a super sound unit, so I can't wait to take a look at that when we open it up. On the side we can see the layout that comes with it and all the contents listed out, and it looks like there's a lot in there. Listed down the other sides we've got all the other models and accessories that are available. A couple of slightly confusing things here. Firstly, Percy doesn't get a photo, just a white rectangle, and secondly they're advertising the models that are already in the set, which seems a bit pointless. But anyway, let's open it up and take a look inside. Everything is held in this plastic tray that sits in a cardboard box, and it's the first time I've ever seen this style. All my other sets are either polystyrene or the newer pulp trays. It seems to have stood the test of time fairly well, although it's warped in some places and makes a pretty tight fit around the models. So over on the right we've got the controller and the power adapter. Then we've got the trackwork, and they've been quite generous. We've got a small oval with a siding that incorporates an uncoupler, and you get a buffer stop to go on the end of your siding. Before we get to the models, let's take a quick look at the super sound unit. It's pretty basic with two buttons to activate sounds. Sadly, this unit doesn't appear to be working, but I've added fixing it up to my list of projects because I really want to hear what this sounds like. Now onto the models, starting with the main man himself, Thomas. The character of Thomas was created by Reverend Wilbur Awdry in the 1940s, and the Hornby model is based on a London, Brighton and South Coast Railways E2 class with extended side tanks. Thomas is probably the most famous locomotive in the world, with his easily recognisable bright blue livery with red lining and running number 1 on the sides. Obviously the model is designed for a younger audience, so it's not super detailed, but there are some noteworthy features. The most obvious being his face. Hornby struggled to get this right at first. Some of the really early models had a weird clown smile and others had a flattish face with a big nose. They finally settled on a face we see here, and it hasn't changed that much since. It's an 060 wheel configuration, and we've got pickups on the front and back pairs of wheels. The centre pair have traction tyres to give it extra grip, and the rear set have suspension to make sure there's always contact with the track. It's hard to see in the cab, but there is some moulded detail in there, but it's all in blue. There's no glazing, but we do have bars running down the rear windows, which is a nice touch. On the top we get the dome, chimney and valves, and there's a small amount of coal moulded into the bunker. At the front and rear we've got standard plastic buffers attached to a red buffer beam with wide couplings. We've got steps on either side of the cab, and as you can see these are slightly damaged on this model. There should also be small footholds on the rear, but again on this model they've been snapped off. I'm not going to put Thomas on the rolling road in this video. If you really want to see him on the rollers, then I used him in How to Clean Your Locomotive Wheels video. So I'll put a link to that video up in the corner. Also, you'll be able to see how he runs around Little Wicket later. For a 35-year-old engine with a basic motor, he doesn't really compare to some of the more modern locomotives I've looked at, but I could get him to pull away and stop relatively smoothly. Right, moving on to the coaches. Obviously, we get Annie and Clarabel, both four-wheeled coaches with third-class compartments at either end and a first-class compartment in the centre. They both come in the familiar orange colour, and in this set they're pretty glossy, and they've both got their names down either side. Both coaches have faces. Annie has a look of surprise on hers, and Clarabel is smiling politely. Now onto the wagons, and we're spoilt in this set. We get an open mineral wagon, again with quite a nice painted face on. A closed van, although this one is missing its roof, so I suppose that makes it an open van, and she's also missing a buffer sadly, but importantly, her face is fine. Finally, we get a 20-ton brake van, and it's the only model without a face, which is a bit disappointing, but to compensate we do have a bit of printed detail on the sides. So that's the set. Mine's obviously not in the best condition, but I really enjoyed getting it out and having a play. As a set, it's pretty impressive, plenty of track and lots of wagons and coaches for Thomas to move around. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give me a like and a subscribe. As usual, I will leave you with some shots of Thomas running around Little Wicket. Thanks for watching, and I will hopefully see you again soon.